Welcome back to Minute Reviews, and if you're a fan of epic transformations, titanic clashes, and all-out battles with humanity's fate on the line, this new show might just be the perfect anime for you. Set in a universe where grotesque Godzilla-like beings known as the kaiju regularly cause disasters, Japan is the country with the highest rate of monster attacks. To combat these legendary creatures, an elite military unit known as the Defense Force arises to challenge them. Defense Force officers wear special armor created from the muscle fibers of slain kaiju that unleashes their body's innate combat power. The armor has a power output ranging from 0 to 100% depending on how much of its power the wearer is able to draw out. Our MC, 32-year-old Kafka Habino, is the strongest defense officer to have existed across all timelines, pretty much being this world's Satoru Gojo. In fact, he was so powerful. I'm joking, all of that was a lie. So Kafka's not even part of the Defense Corps, since he's failed the entrance exam multiple times. Our boy actually works for the Kaiju Cleaner Corporation, a non-combat organization tasked with safely disposing of kaiju corpses in case any of the remains have special properties. Kafka initially started off as a starry-eyed young lad with dreams of one day joining the illustrious Defense Force, a promise he shared with his childhood friend Ashiro Mina, who becomes an absolute beast by the way, but we'll get to her later. But after failing the selection exam time and time again, Kafka eventually gave up on his dream and resigned himself to a life of stagnation and mediocrity. An ambitious 18-year-old recruit named Ichikawa joins the cleaning team in preparation for the upcoming Defense Corps selection exam. Ichikawa was joined as a part-timer to deepen his understanding of kaiju for when he eventually stands on the battlefield. After a string of amazing events that I won't spoil for those who have yet to see it, Kafka's fire is reignited once again and he resolves to take part in the selection exam one final time. As episode 1 ends, both sweepers are recovering in the hospital, and miniature talking kaiju appears and enters Kafka's body. His body undergoes an intense change and he gains the ability to transform into this lightning-themed kaiju. Every kaiju in this world is given a fortitude level, a scale that represents their overall strength and how much of a threat they pose to humanity. Dangerous and strong monsters are classified as Honju, while the smaller ones that tend to accompany or sprout from Honju are known as Yoju. However, in rare cases, absurdly powerful kaiju that stand at the pinnacle of their species appear. Their powers are so vast that the Defense Force has given each one a special designation and classifies them as Dai Kaiju. After escaping from the Defense Force, Kafka is given the title Kaiju number 8 and along with Ichikawa decides to apply to the selection exam while keeping his new powers a secret. During the exam, we get this big reveal that I'm not really gonna spoil, because watching it for the first time, it changed my mind about the story completely. Like, there's so many different paths now that Arthur can go that I'm really excited, and I don't want to ruin that for you guys. That's essentially a basic summary of the new Spring 2024 anime Kaiju number 8, and after 4 episodes, I'm fully locked in. I'm beginning to understand the hype behind it. This anime is low-key fire. So one of the first things that stood out to me was the scenery and just the sheer attention to detail the studio put into the environment. It immediately sets the tone for the story and does an excellent job of world building without really saying a single word. From the way the light is reflected off the skyscrapers, to the birds flying over the harbor, to the traffic lights going off on the street, to even how the ground and water erupt from the kaiju's movement, the world feels alive. We've also got to talk about the boxing in Kaiju number 8 because the combat is really fun. The immersive and fast-paced camera work makes the scenes look really dynamic. The sense of scale and enormity is very well executed, which is really important since it's a show about giant monsters. When I'm watching, it actually feels like humans are going up against natural disasters and I love it. The kaiju feel chaotic, every movement they make is followed by destruction and mayhem. I really like the fact that even without relying on his transformation, our MC is still very competent. Years of working as a sweeper has given Kafka in-depth knowledge of kaiju anatomy, allowing him to quickly deduce their weaknesses and formulate strategies. The other characters in the show seem really interesting too. Within just 4 episodes, we've got a gun-wielding chick with an overpowered Pokemon, a battle-hungry prodigy leagues above her peers, a close-eyed character who's always smiling but deep down is an absolute badass, and I won't even mention the other one from episode 4 for those who haven't seen it yet. So, those are my thoughts on the new spring anime Kaiju number 8. I apologize for the immense Godzilla level blazing, but I've been really enjoying it. It hasn't yet taken my number 1 spot for this season, but it's definitely on track to be one of my favorites. The next video I'll be dropping is probably going to be about the new anime titled How to Fight, where the bullied kid starts a YouTube channel and challenges his bullies to a fight while streaming. If you enjoyed the video, a like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated. I cover tons of anime from the most popular to the most obscure, from seinen to comedies, from shonen to mysteries. Whatever your flavor is, I got you covered. Or we'll get you covered in the future, probably. With that being said, see you guys next week. Peace.